There are few aspects of college football that I don't like. I love the game on the field. I love some of the workings off the field, even though I don't agree with them. They're interesting topics. One would be the bowl process for each individual conference and the landscape of college football in regards to postseason play. So check out John's work on Noon's Magician. One of the highlight pieces is the ACC bowl process. So I'm not going to ask you, John, to take people through it because they can check it out right there. But as you were putting this piece together, what struck you as being maybe some positive aspects of what turned out to be on the field a very big success for the ACC last year, but looking forward to this season, some things that stand out both positively and possibly negatively about the ACC bowl system?
I think the bowl system does create a lot of possibilities. I mean, a lot's changed since the college football playoff era started in general, where you're seeing a bigger emphasis on geography, a bigger emphasis on, avoiding repeat bowl appearances. I mean, the running joke, obviously, for a while was, Pitt and that 3-year stretch of going to Birmingham every year, just because the Big East had terrible tie-ins. There was no real process to avoid those repeats. Now you're seeing more cooperation with the bowl games and the conferences. And really, the conferences should have always had a bigger say in who makes those games and how often they do. Because at the end of the day, if the Outback Bowl every year is Nebraska and LSU, that sounds great for LSU, I guess, but Nebraska, that is a little bit of a trek. You do get a little bit bored of it. It also prevents maybe other teams in the Big Ten from being able to get into that game. And that goes for any of the other bowl games too. So I think this process seems like it caters well to the markets that the ACC wants to be in. And it also encourages, a higher variance of teams. Obviously, that's not going to be the case in the Orange Bowl, where I think you're probably looking at Florida State or Clemson every year for the near future, at least.
Yeah, and bringing up the Big Ten and the SEC have had two bowl tie-ins that go back to the early 90s with the Outback Bowl and the Citrus, then Capital One, then Citrus Bowl. And it makes sense that over a course of 25 years, there's going to be a lot of repeats, and there have been between those two conferences. And then they added a third about 5 or 6 years ago in the Tax Slayer Bowl, or it was the Gator Bowl at that point. So it's good to see that college football has kind of revamped this across the board, and the conferences have tried to produce some different matchups. I know that the Pac-12 and the SEC rarely ever play in postseason play, so that's been addressed as well. All right, John Casillo from Noon's Magician. Check him out on his SB Nation page, because the preparation for the football season's outstanding, and analysis of the rhetoric at ACC Football Media Days in particular. John, we appreciate the time.
Of course, Mark. Thanks.